Rider Dragon Knight. Something, 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 something. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight.
Hey, it was 2009. Like, what do you want from me?
I thought you were gonna say either Henshin or Kamen Rider. I was like, you gotta pick your poison at that point.
In the pilot, it would have been Kamen Rider Dragon Knight Initiate.
Yo, listen. I'm gonna say this right now before.
Did you have a chance to look at the pilot?
No, I didn't. I can't find it. I tried.
Really?
I went on Daily Motion, and let me tell you something. Shout Factory, Shout Factory. I need y'all to listen to me really carefully. Dragon Knight needs to be the next thing you put on Shout Factory, your own website, because it is hard to find Kamen Rider Dragon Knight without having to torrent it, without having to scroll through Daily Motion, and without having to go to YouTube and find someone who has found Kamen Rider Dragon Knight and had to read it.
And not be like French dubbed or something.
Or the French? No. See, mine had French subtitles. It was still English dub, so you can still hear Matt Mullen and what's his face. But other than that, go ahead. Sorry.
So you know how Power Rangers it's adapted from Super Sentai, but then they brought it back to Japan and redubbed it.
Yes.
Check this out. So Kamen Rider was also redubbed back into Japan. But only Ren came back to play Len. Everyone else was voiced by a completely different actor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Oh, we got someone. So, let's do it.
Yeah. So, all right. Before we get started, I want to give a very special shout out to filmmaker and documentarian Joe Doherty, without whom I would not only would I not know as much about stunt acting as I do now, but also without him, I wouldn't even know the show even existed. Because when the show came out in 2009, there was almost no marketing for it. Like, you have to literally be watching CW for Kids like during the later half of the time slot just to see the commercials for it. Like, there's almost no advertisement on TV, on any other channel, or even on the CW in any other time slot. The only reason I knew about it is because I was a huge Kamen Rider fan before it came out. And when I met Joe, he was like, hey, a friend of mine, Steve, he's actually making an American version of this. I think it was called something like Dragon Knight. And that's how I found out the show even existed to begin with. But I'm curious. Where were you in 2009 when the show was out?
Well, before I even tell you where I was in 2009, we forgot. We got to open it up. So, hey guys, this is Leo, aka PsychoFox, and welcome to a very special episode of Rider Time Podcast. I'm your co-host, Leo, aka PsychoFox, and we got the host right here,
main writer. You got TimeRider Zero, and due to the 3-week hiatus of Kamen Rider 01, which is mostly going to be comprised of clip show episodes, I figured, why not take a break from clip show episodes and watch more clip show episodes? We're doing a 3-part retrospective on Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. The part 1 of which will be comprised of episodes 1 through 15 of the show. Part 2, 16 through 29, and then finish the show off in part 3. And the reason why I'm going with this order, well, Fox is going to figure it out on his own.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. After watching episode 15, I figured that out quickly.
Yeah. But first things first, quick shout out to our sponsors. Since you have that brooding voice, care to take care of it?
Let me take a good swig of my water. All right. This episode of the Rider Time Podcast is sponsored by Ranger Style Convention in Orlando, Florida, which is November 13th to the 15th in 2020 this year. Go to rangerstoporlando.com for more details.
And with And also be sure to check us out next week on the Storm Club, because we're going to have our own panel. So if you have any questions, comments, you want to ask us at that panel, be sure to check out Storm Club on May 30th.
And with that being said, to answer your question, TRZ, in 2008 to 2009, because the show lasted, what, 37 or 47 episodes?
Okay, it's like this. The show had 40 episodes in total, but it got canceled 38 episodes in. So episodes 39 and 40, you had to actually go to the CW4Kids website in order to finish the show, which is really sad, because 38 and 39 are a 2-part episode.
And 40 was the conclusion, right?
Yeah, what's the conclusion?
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me tell you where I was. In 2008, 2009, I was 13 years old. Around this time, I stopped watching Power Rangers. I was now transitioning more into watching anime. I was watching more movies. I was getting the MCU was already jump starting with Iron Man, and Dark Knight had came out. I refused to watch 4Kids, especially when I found out Dragon Ball Z Kai was on 4Kids as well. And I'm like, look, I'm old enough to know that. Damn it. I'm old enough to know that 4Kids is where anime goes to die. I understand that 4Kids brought us Pokemon. I understand it brought us One Piece and a few other things. But when you watch the uncensored versions, the uncut versions, the unedited versions, you'll realize that 4Kids is nothing more but a bunch of scumbag goofs. Okay, so I refuse to have watched. Donuts. I refuse to have watched anything 4Kids related. And unfortunately, Dragon Knight. I didn't know a thing about Dragon Knight, so I obviously was not going to watch it. To me, I thought, because this is way before I knew a thing about Kamen Rider. I thought this was just 4Kids' answer to Power Rangers, and I was already not watching Power Rangers around that time. I stopped watching Power Rangers after Mystic Force. That's the reason why I don't know what happened between the events of Overdrive and RPM, and then all that stuff. But watching Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, in my honest opinion, it is criminal. It is this show is criminal, because this show does not deserve to be this damn good, and this show is that damn good. I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is gonna be the entire crux of my argument, the entire time of this episode. This show was way ahead of its time, and had this show came out now, this show would have lasted another 2, maybe 3 or 4 seasons. This show does not deserve to be out. That back then it should have been out around this time, when Tokusatsu, Power Rangers, and Super Sentai-esque thing, any henshin-based show that was revitalized after 2010 and 2011, when you saw the Power Ranger fandom, the Super Sentai fandom, and the Kamen Rider fandom, the Tokusatsu fandom just skyrocket because it got rejuvenated. That's when Dragon Knight should have came out. And shout out to my boy Matt Mullen, because I did not know Matt Mullen was in this show. And if y'all don't know me, Matt Mullen, I keep saying Matt Mullen. Matt Mullen is one of my favorite martial arts actors, because he played the perfect rendition of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
He did do his own stunts in Dragon Knight. So,
with that being said, TRZ, can you tell us a little bit what was going on with Kamen Rider Dragon Knight? I'm talking production. I'm talking development. You are the Kamen Rider extraordinaire of the squad. So fill us in on everything Kamen Rider Dragon Knight related before we get into the actual show.
So I was already a few years into my love for Kamen Rider, and again, you know, when I was in high school, I took up a class on filmmaking, and which heavily involved stunt acting, and I got to meet the legendary independent director Joe Doherty, who for those of you who don't know, made the film 7 Days in Japan. And and he was a great guy, and like he saw like my love for Kamen Rider, and he's like, wait, this sounds like something a friend of mine, Steve, made, and like that's why, and that's how he let me know that there was going to be an American adaptation of Kamen Rider, and I got into it. I saw the pilot online like several months before it came out on actual TV. And the pilot was drastically different. The video quality was not as good because you could only watch it on YouTube at the time, back when YouTube didn't have all those crazy rules and regulations. Pretty much the only actor from the pilot that stayed in the actual show was Matt Mullins playing Len. And a lot of things were different, such as that transformation sequence where instead of just saying Kamen Rider and just slot it in, he actually had an entire sequence. He was like, Kamen Rider, Wing Knight, Initiate. And given the fact that the main character is named Dragon Knight, but was never name dropped, you just know his name is Dragon Knight because of the title of the show. And the only rider that was name dropped was Wing Knight. I had a feeling that I personally have a feeling that the characters would have all had different names as well. Like Torque would have probably been Blast Knight. Strike would have probably been called Veno Knight. They would all have the word Knight in their names, which would have been appropriate because if you're going to do other seasons of Kamen Rider after this one, if it were successful, and God, man, I wish it was really successful. We're going to talk more on that later. That way you could use the Knight part of the name to distinguish this season from other seasons, because eventually you're gonna run out of names, given how even the Heisei Kamen Rider has 20 seasons as of this point, and a lot of the seasons now have like 3 to 7 riders per season. But this was definitely the first season to have this many riders without it being a season finale cameo, because beforehand, Black RX, which is what Master Rider's based off of, was originally the only season that had more than 2 riders, and that was because it was the final episode, and they wanted to have all the riders from the past 8 seasons come back for the final battle, and it was horribly dubbed in Saban's Master Rider. We're not going to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dragon Knight. We're talking about Dragon Knight. So let's get started. So do you want to bring out get the story started?
Yeah, I'll do it first. So Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which came out in 2008, show it. And if I'm reading this trailer because I'm making sure, because I actually took notes for this. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight first debut. It originally aired December 13th of 2008 and ended December 18th of 2009. The show stars Stephen Lunsford, Matt Mullen, Anna Alistar, and William O'Leary, and a few other people and stuff like that. Noticeably, two of the big main stars of the show, Lance Lunsford and Matt Mullen, they've done a lot of other work outside Kamen Rider before Dragon Knight had showed up. Again, I talked about Matt Mullen's career already. He was in Mortal Kombat Legacy. He's been on a lot of really good direct-to-DVD movies. He was in Blood and Bone with another favorite martial arts actor, Michael Jai White. He was in the short film that started Mortal Kombat Legacy, Mortal Kombat Rebirth, as Johnny Cage. And he was also in a few other things. He was in Adventures of Johnny Tao, Blood Fist 2050. He was also in Divergent, which was surprising, and so forth and so forth. He's also done stunt work for the Defenders and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was actually the stunt coordinator for both shows. And Lunsford, he kind of stopped acting, but he's been helping out with like games like, I think he did the motion capture for Rainbow Six Siege recently, so that was actually kind of cool too. And Will O'Leary, I want to say this right now, the dude who plays I keep messing up his name. The villain's name, Vixen, Viox.
Xaviax?
There we go. Okay, Xaviax. I kept calling. I used Xaviax or Zeltrax. I kept confusing Xaviax. I thought this man was related to Dan Aykroyd, because he has Dan Aykroyd's face.
Yeah, and of course Stephen Lunsford. He mostly had he hasn't had that many movie roles up until Dragon Knight, with the most noticeable one being the Bratz movie. But he has been in several episodes of some various TV shows beforehand, such as Malcolm in the Middle, Unfabulous, Young and Restless, Zoe 101. He was in an episode of Cory in the House. And he still played characters in shows afterwards. Most noticeably, there was an episode of Victorious with the actor who played Spike in Power Rangers Samurai. Mm-hmm. Same episode. And he played a recurring character in Teen Wolf, which was a great drama. If you haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say don't miss out on Teen Wolf. I was gonna say TRZ, don't skip Teen Wolf, because
I ain't missing out on Teen Wolf.
Because there are plenty of people who still watch Teen Wolf. I mean, I personally am not a fan of Teen Wolf. I like the Michael J. Fox one. But that's a different story. But let's get started. Okay, we talked about the characters. So the show it takes place in Los Angeles. Yes, this entire show was filmed out in LA, and obviously the Kamen Rider footage was set in Japan, which honestly they did a very good job. Making it look with the illusion of, oh, this is still Los Angeles, because they picked various scenes from the show that made it look like it was still around downtown LA when they were fighting.
Yeah, and one thing you notice is that the show is almost 90% original footage.
Yeah, only time it's like a Kamen Rider footage is when they do like the rider kicks and stuff like that.
The ones with the lens flares.
Exactly. So, with that being said, Matt Mullen's character is Len, a.k.a. Kamen Rider Wing Knight, and he is whooping everything. He is taking out bad guys. He saves people from getting trapped in the mirror dimension, or whatever the heck they call the planet. I call it the mirror dimension.
Yeah, in Ryuki, it is just called the Mirror World, but in Dragon Knight, the world behind the mirror is called Ventara, which is an alternate dimension and whatnot.
Which I'll say my next comment. The first episode, pretty much, he's going around fighting fools, and that's when we meet Kit Taylor. When we find out his dad is comatose, his dad is missing, and he's seeing visions of his dad, who I originally thought was homeboy from the Flash, the '90s Flash. I thought it looked like him for a cool second. And the police and he's just leaving foster home. He's now going back to his dad's apartment, even though his dad's been missing for a year.
Right. Maybe his dad owns the apartment, because you can rent an apartment, but you could also own an apartment. But usually it's more expensive to actually own the room.
Hey, this is Kamen Rider. I'm pretty sure. Listen, from what I've watched with 01, everyone's rich or actual true middle class, where they can own things and stuff like that and have the money to pay it back. So in this world, let's just say his dad owns this apartment or condo or whatever the heck we're going to be calling it, because it looks more like a condo than an actual apartment. Mm-hmm. So he finds this vent card or
contract card.
This contract card in his dad's apartment, and his dad continues to keep saying, "Remember, son, go for the dragon, chase the dragon." And so forth and so forth. So he leaves
the dragon.
So then he runs into Maya, who is this amateur news reporter and she documents the paranormal while working at her auntie's shop. While working on at her auntie's bookshop. If it sounds a little bit like Power Rangers, it does a little bit, but not so much. Because I know I've seen people compare Dragon Knight to Power Rangers, and although it has elements where it feels a little bit like Power Rangers, because this is a Japanese show being with an American adaptation to it, not so much. You can see the difference, and by that I mean the right.
I think it's because Power Rangers was such a trailblazer in American tokusatsu that any other tokusatsu made in America always gets compared to Power Rangers, whether it's made by Saban or by DIC. Even Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad was compared to Power Rangers because it has that rubber suited monster thing going on. And Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills was a blatant rip off of Power Rangers. But honestly, not all shows are like that. You know, there's apples and oranges and bananas and melons and durians.
Mangoes. So Kit tries to save Maya because Maya's being dragged away by the monsters that she can't see. The only person that can see them is Kit and Len until Maya gets dragged into the mirror dimension, and then Len has to save her and Kit. And Kit and Len is not messing around. And again, Matt Mullen does his own stunt choreography. He does his own fight scenes. Shouts to Matt Mullen. Matt Mullen can act and he can do his own stunts. That's range. And God bless Matt Mullen. Hopefully, Matt Mullen, if he's watching this, man, look, you kicked a lot of butt in this show, and you were awesome. You and Stephen Lunsford. Now, I gotta give credit where credit's due to everyone. Everyone did a fantastic job. The cast was great. I know there's one character that I know, TRZ, you find annoying, which we will get to her soon. But Len starts trying to pickpocket. He's like, "Where it at? Where's the contract at, homie?" And he's like, "Whoa, what you talking about?" It's like, "Where the contract at, fool?" And like, "You wasting my time." He just runs off. Yeah. And you can take it from here because we're going to try to finish up episode 1.
So eventually, and also another thing is that the writers, they could hear this noise whenever there's like activity going on in Ventara. Usually it's a mirror monster attack, and other times it's another writer causing trouble. But Len starts to gets notice that there is a spider monster on the other side of the mirror. And a kid, being new to this, starts hearing the noises too. And of course, Kid sees Len fighting, and he ends up getting himself dragged in. And he ends up wearing this black suit of armor that looks very knightly, while Len has one that looks more resembling of a giant bat. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And of course, Kid struggles at first to fight off the monster. But with Len's help, they do manage to defeat it, which brings us to the second episode where Len is still trying to stop Kid from getting the contract and trying to keep him out of the fights, while Kid is trying to find the dragon like his visions of his dad is trying to make. Meanwhile, Maya is trying to find information on Kid Taylor, because who's this kid who keeps seeing things that other people can't, and there's all these disappearances. I wonder if there's some kind of connection between the two. She and her friend Trent, who by the way was in an episode of Hannah Montana, they find out he did experience some juvie troubles and stuff, but he recently turned 18, and we're getting some Padme Amidala type of things going on.
Oh my god! I knew you was gonna bring that up. Look,
you brought it up first, not on screen, but you brought it up first.
I'll explain why in a minute. You keep going.
Right. Oh, by the way, there's a rival reporter named Mariah Walsh, who is more serious and cutthroat as a reporter, and she's constantly trying to discredit witnesses of their witnessing of Ren and the. By the way, expect me to accidentally say Ren instead of Len, or vice versa, whenever we do Dragon Knight or Ryuki. Yeah, and so she always discredits the witnesses whenever she interviews them, and the things I understand why when you watch later episodes of the show. But yeah, so after this one power line worker gets saved by Len, Kid starts to understand what it means to contact the dragon. So he sees this red dragon flying around in the mirror world, and he uses the contract card, which Len is desperately trying to stop him from using. And so his black dragon suit becomes red, and he goes into the mirror world to help Len defeat the evolved spider monster, and using his new finishing move, his final event being like a flying corkscrew kick boosted by the dragon flame, they managed to defeat the spider monster.
Dragon Impact!
And with the monster defeated, Kit and Maya try to go about their day, but then Kit starts to notice a bronze crab rider in a mirror, and he tries to follow suit after him. And that is the end of the 2-part episode, Search for the Dragon.
Then we get to episode 3. That same Golden Rider that they see, that gold Kamen Rider beats the heck out of Kit, and Len comes to save him, and he's like, "That was another Kamen Rider. Why was he attacking me?" And then we get a little flashback on why this Kamen Rider. You find out this dude, he's this snarky, spoiled brat. What's that fool's name again?
Richie.
Oh, well, yeah. Wow. 2 on the nose. 2 on the nose, yep. CW. So Richie's a spoiled rich kid. His dad wants nothing to do with him anymore. He is cut him off on the on you know how when people die they leave you a trust fund. There's a trust fund. He's come off on the trust fund, and now Xaviax, who we find out has the many faces. He's the many-faced man. The man has no name. He gives Richie the Kamen Rider contract card. And
he gives him the full deck for Incisor.
Oh, for Kamen Rider Incisor. And so he pulls, and then you'll find, and so the reason why he's trying to beat Kamen Rider Dragon Knight and Kamen Rider Wing Knight is because Xaviax promised him fame and fortune. You will get $1 million. I will give you $1 million
for every rider you defeat.
I'll give you $1 million. And so it so happens to have been the first fight he goes into is he fights Dragon Knight and Wing Knight and gets stomped. He gets a mud hole stomped in his butt.
Whoa. 2 against 1. That's not fair. I'm out of here.
Yep. That's part 1, and then the next episode, and that's episode 3. That's episode 3 in a nutshell.
Oh, and he's like, you can wear the suit, but can you fight? And Len shows Kid just how severely outclassed and over his head he is.
It's as if Mike Tyson fought an 18-year-old amateur boxer. Mike Tyson at 53 fighting an 18-year-old amateur boxer, and Tyson beats the holy hell out of him. That's what happens between Len and Kit Taylor. The next episode, Len fights Richie, and Richie has probably the cheesiest joke, but it's still very funny. TRZ, hey, go ahead.
What you got something on your shirt there? That's $. You got something I want. $1 million.
Oh man, that was such a funny line. And honestly,
when he said Len, he actually looks at his shirt when he points at it.
Yeah, because Len's not from this world. You see, he's from the mirror dimension. He's from Earth 2, which
apparently they don't have pizza on Ventara.
Yes, he's from Earth 2, which I'm going to be making this Earth 2 joke for a lot of reasons until we get to that episode that we're going to be talking about. So Len beats Kamen Rider Incisor, and because of this, and this is when we find out that this is serious. Kid's like, oh man, this is for real, not for play. There could be only one Kamen Rider. So Len pulls a Highlander on this fool, and Kamen Rider Incisor starts to disappear. He jumped in the sky and turned into a winged bat rider kick. And thus, Richie's dead. Richie dies. So what happens is whenever a Kamen Rider is defeated, he goes inside the mirror dimension, behind the mirror dimension. He gets vented. In other words, he dies and he ain't coming back. Maybe I don't know. TRZ without spoiling it, but towards the end of the show, do people who are defeated in the show come back?
There is a way for them to come back, but the thing is, the only person who could bring them back at this point in time is long gone.
Damn it, this stupid hints. Anyways, so that's when Kid's like, yo, I want no part of this. I'm good. My hands is clean for this one, boy. This is going from episode 4 to episode 5. He's like, look, my hands is clean. I'm good. I want no part of this, bro. I don't. Listen. I don't know what my dad got me involved in. He's like, whoa, yo, dad? What you mean, yo, dad? Like, that's not the point, Glenn. Take the contract, take the cards. I don't want it no more. It's like, no.
Listen here, kid. You already made the contract. There's no getting out of this. You're in it for the long haul.
That's not how it works, playboy. We finna do this together. And he's like, listen,
you're swimming with the sharks now.
And Len's like, look, I'm sorry that I dragged you into this. I tried to stop you, and I should have been faster, but I need your help. And then he explains to Kit what Kamen Rider is, how they come from another dimension, the Earth 2. I mean the mirror dimension. I mean Ventara, Earth 2, and that Xaviax is the bad guy who destroyed all of Ventara because one Kamen Rider decided to snitch on everyone and hunted down and destroyed the rest of the Kamen Riders. He betrayed and murdered the Dragon Knight. And if you don't know what I'm referencing Obi-Wan Kenobi telling Luke about the Jedi Knights in episode 4.
And boy, wait till you find out who the traitor was.
Yeah. So, hence the reason why Len is going back is on Earth. He's trying to stop Xaviax from taking over Earth and do the exact same thing that Xaviax did to Ventara. And he's like, look, we gotta be a team, okay? Are you down? It's like, sure, I guess. So he shows him a new trick, how if you Kamen Rider, not Henshin, Kamen Rider, which I think I'll let TRZ. Yeah, I'll have TRZ explain that when I'm finished. They go into the mirror dimension, and they learn, and he teaches Kit how to transform his regular motorcycle, into a Kamen Rider cycle. They go in and
toys that will get no advertisement.
I think once we get to episode 15, because we're not gonna talk about episode 15 because it's just a flashback episode. Once they get there, they beat the monsters. They rider kick all of them, and then as Len is leaving, and keep in mind, we haven't mentioned Maya because Maya, honestly, is a little irrelevant until certain points. Maya is investigating. She knows that Len and Kit are Kamen Riders, and she's trying to keep their identities a secret. But also, she's trying to use, when they're in Kamen Rider form, she's trying to use it to get that big break. So she become, LA's best reporter. Because again, this entire show is in Los Angeles. And it's in downtown LA. It's in K-Town. It's somewhere in Northridge, around my neck of the woods, because I know they filmed it at CSUN as well.
Downtown LA. But yeah, moving forward, we find out that there was a mysterious person trailing after them, and it turns out it's a guy named Drew who's very slick talking, and he has a green deck which allows it to become Kamen Rider Torque, which is a green ox themed rider. And he picks a fight with Kit at first, but he's like, whoa, hold on. Destroy Xaviax? Hold on. No. I'm trying to destroy Xaviax. Kamen Rider Wing Knight is working for Xaviax. If it wasn't for the original Dragon Knight, I would have been dead. But I was saved because he sacrificed himself. If you want to save your dad, we have to destroy Xaviax and Wing Knight. And of course, Kit doesn't believe him at first, but then with a little help from Xaviax, he picks a fight with Wing Knight while Kit is like watching him from behind the scenes. And right when Wing Knight gets him pinned down, Xaviax shows up through a mirror. He's like, "Good job, Wing Knight. Now kill him." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And then that's the end of the ruse right there. Like, that's all you need to convince Kit that he's definitely...
Kit's a moron. Kit is a straight up moron. There are so many things I want to call Kit right now that are not FCC material on Facebook. But y'all know what I want to say. He's a moron.
Thankfully, these next few episodes will be the height of his stupidity. Like the rest of the way, like he's I'm gonna tell you this much. Like after those few episodes, Kit wises up. He becomes a badass. Don't worry about it. Like there'll be this one scene in the second third of the show. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it is so good. Complete 180 of this scene. But yeah, he's like, damn, I can't believe it. Wing Knight really was a traitor. Okay, Drew, I'll help you out. Meanwhile, Maya finds out with the help of a hacker named JTC that a lot of the people who disappeared can actually be are called sleepwalkers because they have been caught sleepwalking and are put into a hospital wing, like a secret military hospital wing. And when Maya sneaks in, she manages to find out where Kit's dad is. And of course, they sneak in together. You know, Kit, Maya, and Drew. They manage to sneak in to find his dad. And then they're confronted by Kit's parole officer who says, "Look, Kit, like I know it sounds bad, and I should have told you this from the beginning. But the reason why we didn't tell you about this sooner is because we don't know why these people are comatose. And if people found out about this before we get more information, there's going to be mass panic, and we can't have that. So I'm going to let you have special privileges to keep visiting this hospital wing as long as you keep it a secret." And of course, he agrees to that.
Snitch.
Yeah, don't snitch. Yeah. Meanwhile, in some underground dojo, a martial artist named Grant managed to cheat in a fight against a TJ Storm.
Yo, when I saw TJ Storm, for those of y'all who don't know, if y'all don't know who TJ Storm is, what is wrong with you? I'm joking. TJ Storm is a really, really great stunt actor. This man he's been in Star Trek. He was in Punisher Warzone. He was in the James Cameron's Avatar. He was in Tron Legacy as one of the motion capture. He did some of the motion capture for Tron Legacy.
For Colossus and Deadpool. He did mocap for Godzilla, like the 2014 film, which brings it back to our tokusatsu thing going. He going further into tokusatsu, one of his earlier works was playing the villain Doom Master in VR Troopers. Behold my vixens.
And just in case you haven't seen those, he's been in video games. This man did the motion capture and the voice of Josh from Resident Evil 5. Homeboy who's helping Chris and Sheva. He was in Tekken 6. He was Craig Murdoch. He also did additional voice for Splinter Cell and a bunch of other games. Like, TJ Storm has a massive resume, and I think we both met TJ Storm at Japan World Hero last year. So shouts to TJ Storm. He makes a cameo and it's awesome.
But unfortunately, there's no honor in fighting a cheat. So he walks off severely injured while Grant is visited by Xaviax, who's part of a mercenary group, saying, "Cheating, please. It's creative problem solving." And I want to put a pin on that comment for a later episode. But yeah, he's like, you want to prove you're the best? Check this out. So there's these rival organizations who have their own riders, and I want you to represent me in fighting these other riders. But this was a really dumb move on Xaviax's part, because now because Kit was eating off the palm of Drew's hands to the point where Kit even questioned Len about curing his dad. It's like, cure? There is no cure. There was a guy who could cure it, but he's long gone. Fox. But of course, Kit doesn't believe him. He's like, no, you're holding out on me. You're working with Xaviax. I'll defeat you and Xaviax with the help of Torque. He's like, the help of Torque? God damn. And so
Kit pisses me off in this episode.
So as it turns out, there are several other riders already there, like Kamen Rider Thrust, and while and while Wing Knight is fighting Thrust, Drew wants Kid to pull a fast one on Wing Knight while he's down, but instead they get distracted by a Kamen Rider Camo, which is what Grant becomes. He's a green chameleon rider. Oh, and Thrust is a rhinoceros rider, and so they have a fight with each other, and of course this throws a huge wrench in Drew's plan to destroy Wing Knight. And of course, we later find out that Thrust is actually a motorcyclist, a motocross racer named Brett Barrett, who was accused of cheating at a race because his best friend and rival's motorcycle was sabotaged by someone wearing his custom jacket. Of course, Xaviax has video footage proving that he's innocent, but he won't give him the footage unless he participates in Battle Club for him, which is a tournament of the best fighters, and you have to win if you want to get that footage. And my question is, doesn't the owner of that racing club have the full footage? Sure, he has the clip where the guy in the jacket is facing away and like sabotaging the motorcycle, but where's the footage right after that where he turns his head? That's what I want to know.
TRZ, it's Power Rangers, dude. Come on now.
It's not Power Rangers. It's Kamen Rider.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's a CW show. Come on now. Do we have to address Arrow? Do we have to address Arrow?
CW ruins everything except Black Lightning.
Well, Black Lightning just consistently is a good show. Like I'm gonna say, look, off topic. I know we like going on tangents. I'm sorry, but we just do. Black Lightning is the best DC show on right now, hands down. Hot take. It's better than Arrow.
Its advertisement had no subtlety, but the show itself had all of the subtlety. The irony. But yeah, going back to Dragon Knight. So Barrett has to fight in Battle Club in order to clear his good name, and his first opponent is Wing Knight. And of course, Kid is confused. Wait, why are all these riders trying to fight Wing Knight if they all work for Xaviax? Meanwhile, Maya gets pulled into the mirror world, and Len ends up saving her, and they have a heart-to-heart. And she's like, "Look, Kid's a good kid, and if what you're saying about Drew is true, then you need to prove to him that you were right the whole time. Just don't give up on him." And that softens him up a bit, and having another confrontation between Kid, Drew, and Grant, Kid finally realizes, like, look, he keeps showing up to everyone saying they're gonna destroy Wing Knight. Like freaking Richie gets $1 million if he defeats Wing Knight. Grant becomes the winner of a tournament if he defeats Wing Knight. It's almost as if everyone who fights Wing Knight is working for Xaviax. Oh, finally got it! I've been dropping hints for the last 3 episodes. Like,
bruh.
Drew goes full Palpatine from how Star Wars Revenge of the Sith should have ended.
Bruh, I'm just gonna say this right now. Kit Taylor's a moron in these 3 episodes. Like
where his stupidity ends.
Like we need to address the fact that Len saved him from getting ganged up on, and he still questions, "I don't trust you." I'm like, both y'all did rider kicks to defeat the bad guys. Who was Kit, who do you think is bringing all these minions into the world? Do you really think they just randomly show up? No, you moron. You klutz. It's Xaviax, you goofball. I am doing such a good job not saying what I really want to say, but like, you damn goof, you goober, like, you really think Len would take the time if he was truly working for Xaviax? You would think he would have taken the time to help you fight these monsters and jump into the sky and do a rider kick? You would think he's listening to everyone loves a winner on loop? No.
Anyways, moving forward.
Drew kills Grant. Grant dies.
And Brad sees what happens when that happens. And he's like, "Oh my god, Is that what happens when we lose? What's going on? And of course Maya's still missing as far as everyone else is concerned. But she gets back and says, like, quickly, where's JTC? I was supposed to meet up with him. It's like, and they're like, look, Maya, calm down. You have to close up shop because you were gone for so long, and we're not having any of that. By the way, there's some guy here to see you, and in comes, hi, I'm James. JTC. I got some photos of this Crimson Stingray guy showing up at Gramercy Heights, and they're too hot to email, so I have to come see you in person. And of course they have a cute little date thing going on. He's buttering her up. But when he leaves, you find out that he is also working for Xaviax.
Oh man, that was funny. That was funny too.
So then Maya, Trent, and Lacey go to investigate at the high school, and they try to make a fake monster attack in order to draw out Kamen Rider Sting, which is the Stingray guy. But of course it fails, and Trent gets beat up by a mime. And by the way, the mime is so creepy in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Like say what you will about Xaviax and all the crazy things that happen throughout this entire show. The mime is the weirdest thing in the entire show.
Dude, let me tell you something. We even address Maya's friends real quick. Lacey and Homeboy from Hannah Montana. So Lacey, very pretty woman. Very pretty woman.
The actress is very attractive looking. I'm not going to deny that.
However, the character, clearly, I know this is LA. Clearly she's from Beverly Hills because she's acting way too much like someone from Beverly Hills.
She like in Totally Spies standards, she's totally a Mandy.
Yeah. So what Maya would try to do to get the monsters to come out, she had homie from Hannah Montana dressed up like an alien, and hold up, and freaking said, "Hey, I need you to scare Lacey so the things can come out." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm scared." Okay, Lacey, pretend he's gonna ask you out. She goes. And somehow the mime beat the hell out of Hannah Montana, dude, and got her number. Or it was the other way around. He gave her his number and gave her an invisible flower.
Yeah, and of course, Kid fights a lemur monster in that episode, while Len and Brad have a little a measuring contest on their motorcycles. And Xaviax has a lament about how much of a disappointment Drew is to Kamen Rider Strike, which is a purple Cobra themed rider. And for those of you who can't put two and two together, it's JTC. Let's all be honest. We all knew from the beginning that JTC was Kamen Rider Strike. Am I right? I'm totally right about that.
You are right. The motorcycles outside, who are probably Kamen Riders themselves, are saying you're right as well.
Yeah. So he's doing the old Starscream has failed me again spiel. So, and as soon as Len defeats the lemur monster, he's confronted by Kamen Rider Singh saying, by the order of the United States government, you are under arrest. And I'm thinking that is one of the coolest lines a writer could have said in the show so far. It's better than what's that on your shirt?
Dollar sign.
So next episode we get a flashback of a guy from the United States Navy. The United States Marines named Private Chris Ramirez, who wants to become the Marine Corps because his dad is Lieutenant Dan. It's like I was a Marine Corps. My father's a Marine Corps. His dad was in the Marine Corps. My son's gonna be in the Marine Corps. I don't care if he has a severe case of asthma. He is joining the Marine Corps. And of course, And of course, he's met by Xaviax, who's like, I'm part of a secret clandestine part of the military. Our world is being invaded by aliens, and you have been selected to be part of a top secret operation to save the world. And of course, Chris, wanting to become a hero to save America. Believes him. And I find interesting how like they did a really good job with an asthmatic character. Like, because we've talked about comic books for a long time and how to properly handle minorities and people with disabilities and stuff. This is a great way to represent a character with asthma. Because some people have such severe asthma that there are certain careers that they want to have and couldn't do it because the asthma will get in the way, and sometimes the medical requirements prevent you from participating if you are diagnosed with asthma. And the military is one of those careers.
Right.
Anyways, you want to continue from here?
Yeah, I got you. So Dragon Knight. So while Len's fighting Ramirez, we then cut to Drew. Drew right now is on the run because Xaviax found out that Drew was trying to get Kamen Rider Thrust. Yeah, Brad. He was trying to get Brad to be like, hey, listen. Xaviax does not know what the hell he's doing. And obviously, he is going to get us all killed. I say you and I work together and we take out Xaviax once and for all. Brad, because of his hubris, is like, up yours, I'm out of here. Xaviax finds out about this, and Drew's like, oh no, what you talking about, man? We was cool, man. We boys. What you talking about?
Here's some stock footage for you to look at. Oh, but this one is my particular favorite. Yeah, you and me have to destroy Wing Knight and Xaviax. And he's like, and Xaviax.
It's like
Strike,
fake news.
Do your thing. Strike, do your thing. But fake news. So Drew's on the run. And he even tries and fails to get Kit to team up with them. And Kit catches on quickly. It's like I know what you're doing. Your boss caught you double dealing on him, and you're trying to use us as protection. That's what's happening. And of course, Kit whoops his butt. Then you have a series of different multiple confrontations. And of course, they try to recruit. And of course, Kit and Maya try to recruit Chris joining their team, but he doesn't believe them right away. So he does make a run for it. But then Len has a one-on-one fight with him and overpowers him. Like, he uses Final Vent and doesn't kill him. Like that cape drill thing is like right at his face and doesn't go near him. It's like, and he just completely unmorphs. It's like, see, man, I don't want to fight you. I want you to join us. We're the good guys. And of course, Maya finally convinces Sting to join the team, and by using his copy vent, he manages to copy Kit's strike vent, and they do a double Dragretter attack against a monster. Meanwhile, Drew's still on the run. And of course, Brad Barrett having like a mental breakdown, wants to have a final battle against Len. And of course, all these different battles end up crossing paths with one another, which results in Kamen Rider Strike using his final event on Kamen Rider Thrust, and it's sad seeing him get vented because he's like, but Brad Barrett never loses.
We also forgot to mention that Drew's final event is he has this giant
Magna-Giga.
Yeah, and he just puts his gun in and shoots a bunch of other stuff. And I'm over here like, Drew, did you get them? Did you get him, Drew? Because it seems like a little bit overkill. Did you get him, Drew? Drew uses it to escape because Kamen Rider Strike is trying to kill him because he tried to betray I'm about to say Evox, Xaviax. Then ZVX kills Thrust. Not ZVX. Then Strike kills Thrust. And then we cut to the final part of the episode where after Chris and Len shake hands, which is super cheesy, and even Kit Taylor says, "Yo, that's kind of cheesy, but it's all good with me." Like you guys are a bunch of goofs.
Len senses a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, Drew gets got. Strike murders him. And not just disturbance, he felt his life force. It's like, I sense someone's life force being drained away. I sense the screams of 1,000 children.
I just remembered this one scene I wanted to mention. In an earlier fight between Camo and Drew, when Drew shoots him in the back, like he says, "Come on, man, that's cheating." He's like, "No, this is cheating." And I'm like, you know what would be a funnier line for him to say than "No, this is cheating"? He would say, "No, this is creative problem solving."
It was 2008, man. It was 2008.
And what I find interesting is that when Strike is about to kill Torque, Drew's doing the obligatory no thing. It's like, do you remember what Zaviak said? If you win the fight, no. But do you remember what he said if you failed him? No. Well, let me tell you what's gonna happen. When Zaviak promises something, he keeps it. And of course, Drew gets vented, and so Chris is like, okay, guys, I'm willing to join your team, but I need you to tell me everything before I do that. Which leads to episode 15, which is pretty much entirely clip show. Nothing plot relevant happens other than throughout the episode, Chris's asthma gets worse and worse, and so he storms out coughing, and of course Maya tries to run in after him, and that's where the arc ends. Get ready for another 15 weeks of reruns if you're watching this you're watching the show in its original runtime.
Yeah. And with that being said, Kabuto, I kind of want to give my score first before I let you before. So no, all right. So I said this earlier that this show, it's criminal that this show is this good. I enjoy watching this show. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight is a show that honestly, I said this at the start of our show, and I'll say it again. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight was ahead of its time. If the show had came out, let's say, maybe like 2015, 2016, maybe 2017, around the time when Kamen Rider was debuting on Amazon Prime, because Toei made a Kamen Rider exclusive to Amazon Prime. If it came out around that time, I think the show would have stood a chance, because it would have been around the time Kamen Rider Fever was happening. Because I'm pretty sure everyone in America who's never watched Kamen Rider on Amazon Prime was probably their first time. It was their first.
Kamen Rider Amazon's remake, Kamen Rider Amazons, only on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. So if it came out around that time, I think the show would have survived another 3 or 4 seasons. So far, these first 15 episodes, I think they've done a tremendous job with the writing. The writing is for a kid show around this time, because this is still around the time when RPM is still on television and stuff. Yep. Around this time, you can clearly tell that these writers knew how to write a kid show. Because originally, and I'm looking at my notes, because I did take notes while watching the show. This show, and I did some research. This show was originally supposed to originally be for kids under the age of 5. But the writers and the director of the show, the executive producers, are like, no, we want to aim this for like more like 7-year-olds to like young adults and stuff like that.
17 is like 7 to 16-year-olds.
Exactly.
And it was 16 when this show aired, so And
I was 14 when this show. I was like 13. I was 13 going on 14 when this show originally started. Yeah, I just turned 14 the week before the show had debuted on CW. So this show, the writing great. I think the actors do a tremendous job with the material that they are given. Again, I mean, I think Matt Mullen and Steven Lunsford have great on-screen chemistry, and I'm glad to see that both of their careers are still going, and a lot of the other careers of the actors and actresses are still going. Like, I think what really makes me sad though is the actress who plays Maya. Her name's Yvonne Arias. Arias. This was her last thing she ever did. Like, she retired after this show was over, because she was on Gamers. She was on Gamers. She was on Scrubs for a cool minute. Like, she did some other shows. She was on Eve, and that was one of my favorite shows with the rapper Eve. She stopped acting after this show, which it's kind of sad, because I think she had a promising career after this show. But
right.
I think the story arc right now that we're going with, because I originally thought, when I saw the theme to the show, I thought, okay, there's gonna be plenty of Kamen Riders. They're gonna make like a Kamen Rider team. They're gonna fight the main battle. No. I thought I was gonna get a Power Rangers. No, because all these fools is fighting one another, which I have no problem with. I think it was a great choice, and again, coming from someone who grew up on Power Rangers, and I thought this show was gonna be treated like a Power Rangers show. It did everything opposite what I originally thought it was going to do. I think the stunt choreography is amazing. I think a few problems I have with it, and maybe you can tell me when you give your review of it. The whole sparks thing. Normally, when you see people get hit and the sparks are flying, you hear. But no, it's just sword fighting. It's like, and I'm like, where's the sparks flying? Where's the sparks noises? I don't know. Maybe
I don't know, but I know that Japanese TV standards, when they use the sparks to substitute for bleeding. Because keep in mind, Kamen Rider and Super Sentai are targeted towards little kids in Japan. It's just that compared to America, they're much more cool with violence, and for some reason less cool with romance and sexuality for some reason.
Because Karens don't run Japan. TRZ. Anyways,
there is some Puritanism there.
But yeah, another issue I have with the show thus far, and these are just issues that I'm like, okay, I'm kind of seeing maybe they clean up at the end in the second half of the show. It's just weird how it's like, I'm trying to think the whole thing about Maya's character and stuff like that. I mean, her friends. You mean to tell me? Sorry about that. You mean to tell me that none of Maya's friends have seen this Kamen Rider? I mean, they've heard news about it. And it's just weird how it's like, I know they were trying to aim where it's like, oh, it's coincidence that this happened way right. Oh, guys, you totally missed it. It's like Phil Coulson. Oh, I met Iron Man. Oh no, I saw it earlier. You didn't see it. You didn't see it though.
Yeah, like when she was interviewing, like when she was with Mariah Walsh, interviewing that one guy, and Maya could see what's name, Len fighting a monster, like, and she's like, "What are you even looking at? Staring into space? You're supposed to be taking notes."
Yeah, I'm only over here like Maya, point her head to show her Len turn into a Kamen Rider. What's going on? But like there's certain things I feel like was a bit off about the show, and again, I kind of wish that you heard the when sparks are flying and stuff, because I'm like, I mean, you can't when you get hit, you're when you hear someone who's already henshined up get hit, you kind of want to hear sparks fly. That's just me. Yeah. And I know this is just a minor nitpick. I have no problem with them not saying henshin, because this is America, and henshin just means transform in American. I kind of wish they went with the pilot rendition of saying Kamen Rider,
Wing Knight, initiate.
That, like, I kind of wish they had kept that, because when they just say Kamen Rider, it just has no pizzazz to it. It's like Kamen Rider. No, it's just
even in Japanese Kamen Rider, like even though every season has them say even though every season has them say henshin, at least the way they say henshin is different. Like even in Ryuki, like the Japanese version of Ryuki, like even though they all say henshin, like they always do it differently. You know, like Ryuki does henshin, Knight says henshin, and what's his name? Oja, which is the purple one. Like he's like henshin, you know, like Oh, and the tiger one, like he does his left-handed. But so like you all have different poses when even though they say the different line, but here they just go. I mean, for me, it's not as big as the two real problems I have with the show. Like I have two problems with the show, and you've already seen a little taste of one of those two problems.
Yeah, I did. Paul, almost done. Man, you let me lose my train of thought. I have one more. Oh, honestly, this show, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. The show so far is a 9 out of 10 for me. The one thing I want to say, and I told you this show is like a mix. But the reason why I kept saying it's Earth 2, this show is a mix between The Flash and Highlander. I say The Flash because you find out that from Len in one of the episodes, I think episode 12 or 13, it was the one where Len was hurt still, and he was telling Kit about the history of the Kamen Riders and stuff.
Yeah. So because Kit and Maya did ask, like of all the people like Xaviax could have given the Dex to, why give it to some guy with asthma? Why not hire like the biggest baddest criminals? And it's like because the Dex are made to be used by only one person. You need an exact DNA match, and I'm not talking about Wesley Collins. I mean like the only person who could use Dragon Knight is someone who was played by Stephen Lunsford.
Doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Doppelgangers. That's the reason why I say it's The Flash, people. It's The Flash because of the doppelganger situation. It's Highlander because all these fools can sense Kamen Riders. And if anyone's never watched Highlander, movie or show, Highlanders have the sense to know when another Highlander is around.
Mm-hmm.
Or when another immortal is around. Not Highlander, an immortal. They'll realize if there's another immortal around them, and they get the spider sense going on.
Yeah, and they have to do that here too with that sound.
Yeah. But anyway,
yeah. And also, when he shows him that photo, you see a little something in the background.
Yeah, another Kamen Rider. But yeah, all right. TRZ, go ahead, man. Your likes, your big major problems, and score.
Right. So, like I said before, I don't like as generic as the transformation pose and phrase is, the special effects for it is not bad. And honestly, it's small potatoes compared to the two problems I really have with the show, which, as I said before, we've experienced a little bit of this season. Sorry, in episode 15. And we're going to see a little more of that later on, which is why it's a problem. The other issue you'll find out in the third trimester of the show. Other than that, I like the acting from all the actors. I love the stunt work. And heck, give props where props is due. Power Rangers never won a single award. Sure, sometimes it was nominated for some things, but Dragon Knight, it won an Emmy. It flat out won an Emmy.
I was going to mention that towards the end of the show, like when we finish the entire show. But yes, people, in case you want to know, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight won, and I'm looking right here, it won a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Stunt Coordination. And it was a category that was introduced that year. So, again, get props where props is due. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight brought in a new era of daytime Emmys, and that was Outstanding Stunt Coordination.
And in the 10 years since then, Power Rangers hasn't won that award even once. I'm not going to count the first 17 seasons where that award didn't exist, because you can't fault those first 17 seasons if that category didn't exist. But now that the core category does exist, Power Rangers, what's your excuse? And don't get me wrong, this isn't me hating on Power Rangers. We love Power Rangers, but credit to Dragon Knight where credit is due. And of course, I love some of the principal photography and filming. I love the stunt choreography. I love how a lot of the actors are martial artists in real life, and they did a lot of their own stunts. The footage is 90% original footage throughout the show, and case in point, Kamen Rider Camo. Spoiler alert, because you haven't seen Ryuki yet. That rider does not show up in the TV show or the movie. He only shows up in a special, which where they did a Jason Todd where you have to pick the ending over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time you ever see that chameleon rider.
Okay.
Yeah, not even in the movie does he show up. And yeah, so like, you know, it's interesting how they're doing things differently here compared to Ryuki. It doesn't have to be a shot-for-shot remake of Ryuki, you know? And like sometimes when Power Rangers does better than Super Sentai are the seasons where Power Rangers did their own thing instead of copying Super Sentai. And, you know, I just can't wait to rewatch the next 14 episodes. And I can't wait to hear Fox's reaction to those episodes. I give a 9 out of 10 because there are like a little moments of cheese throughout the series. And let's be honest, Kim was stupid in those 3 episodes. I can't defend that. I cannot defend that. But he gets nice character growth in these next few parts, at least. Like, and you actually see that. So with that said, you know, tune in next week where we do part 2 of our retrospective, and we review episodes 16 through 29 of Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. But first, let's get to the comment section. Comment time! Comment time! Let's read what our fans want to say. Okay, Bebo says,
What's up, Bebo?
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight is good. Yes, it is. And he continues with, all your riders are gone and I'm still here. I feel like this is a line in another episode of the show, but I need to rewatch it just to make sure. Timothy writes, hi, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight came out in 2009. Yes, it did.
Correction,
yes, it
08.
Yeah, yes.
It ended in 09.
They did a sneak peek first episode on, if I remember correctly, December 3rd of 2008, but the official airing of the show as a whole was in January of 2009.
Okay, I did not know that. That I didn't know.
Yeah. So Mikey Perez, shout out to Mikey,
Mike?
says, hey guys. And he says that the show's underrated. And yes, I would like to thank everyone who has been here watching our show up to this point and has been watching this episode up to this point. We hope to see everyone here next time. And of course, where would we be without you, our fans, and our sponsors, which consists of
this episode. Let me get a breathe in. This episode of Ranger Podcast Live. No, not Ranger Podcast Live. Let me do that again. This episode of the Rider Time Podcast is sponsored by Ranger Stock Convention in Orlando, Florida, which is November 13th to the 15th, 2020. Go to rangerstoporlando.com for more details. Boom.
Yes. And of course, let's not forget our social media campaign to make this happen.
Jesus Christ.
So be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to Morphin Network and This Photo on Facebook, Instagram. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
Suck.
We have multiple social media platforms to go off of. And of course, be sure to check out some of our upcoming shows. We will be having a panel on Storm Club on Saturday, May 30th, and we will have an exclusive interview with Titus, the Equation Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin Season 3, Jim Gray. and this is a Morphin Network exclusive, so be sure to check that out. And anything else our fans need to look forward to in that I should bring up?
As of this month, I mean, we got a couple more interviews. I can't say which ones, but still, we're in the works right now. So that's all you need to know. Right. I will say this: next month, the final episode of Pocket Dimension will be out. I'm currently working on it. I'm going to be sending our boy Danny the videos I need to get the special effects on. But other than that, yeah, stay tuned. I'm gonna try to get that episode out by the 15th of June. If not, it's gonna be at the end of June. So, but it's gonna be out in June, people. I promise you. You're gonna
and of course, you could find me, TimeRider Zero, on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. That's Boken as in Boken Red, and Kabuto as in Kamen Rider Kabuto. And you can find me on Instagram at chrono_justice_cosplay. Mr. PsychoFox, where can they find you?
Gang. What's up? I'm joking. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheReckless_Fox. Follow me on my YouTube channel, Reckless_Fox, and follow all Malays Gang content on twitch.tv/RecklessFox. If you want more content, myself and Mr. TRZ and our girl Jen, we do a video game podcast every weekend, the Struggle Game Podcast on Twitch. So you haven't yet, go to our SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/ScruggleGaming. That's soundcloud.com/ScruggleGaming for previous episodes of the Struggle Game Podcast and our other various shows.
And with all that said, see you guys next week. And remember, when the going gets tough, the tough go riding.
See you guys later. Hold on. Let me get my tree. Hold on.
Kamen Rider, Dragon Knight, together we can fight, let's ride.
All right, guys.